I've seen many videos talk about how to save and earn more money, but only little about how to spend the money we make. And whilst it's important to focus on earning and saving, spending is as important, because what do we do with all the money if we don't use it for our advantage and to create the life we want? And now looking back on the past few years, I've noticed 6 lessons that I really wished I had known earlier in my 20s on how to best use the money I was earning. Buy back your time. The one thing we cannot get back is our time. It's the most valuable resource we have, and spending it on things we don't like or don't want to do just doesn't make sense. So we can use the money we earn to outsource tasks that don't bring us any value by either using a tool or hiring someone. For example, instead of going to the grocery shop, we could just use an app and order the food directly to our front door. Sure, it's probably more expensive, but if we value our time highly, we don't care, because now we just saved 30 to 60 minutes by not going to the grocery shop. And now we could use this time instead to read something, improve our skills, or invest the time in our business. And the long-term impact, therefore, would only compound, because we would improve our skills and move our business forward, which then enables us to earn more down the line, which we can then use to buy even more freedom if we want to. The other question is that we really should be asking ourselves, do we need more money? Because every time we go working, we trade our limited resources, time, against money. And if we actually don't need the money, it's not a good trade. Sure, often we don't have the option, but if we do, we really should be thinking about it, because making more is not always the correct answer. I've now deliberately chosen to work less and thereby make less. Sure, it would be nice to have more money, because then I could afford more stuff, but do I really need more stuff? And the answer is no. And the thing is, time is far more important to me, because now I can use it to invest it in things I value most. So spending time with friends, being creative, and learning something new. Invest in experiences. I highly overvalued material things. I always thought, well, if I just buy this item, I will have it forever. But instead, going out for a dinner, it will be gone so quickly. In the end, it's just an hour and then it's over. But let's say that there was a very limited view on things. And my mindset completely shifted on this point. Because every time you go out with friends, visit them in another city, or do a trip together, you create memories that will accompany you for the rest of your life. And the value of that will just keep coming back again and again. Every time you meet, you can think about the experiences you can tell stories about for years to come. And next to that, you will strengthen the relationships and you learn more about each other. Find the things that bring you the most happiness. We all value different things, but instead of buying the latest gadget because it was promoted in the media, we should spend some time really thinking about the things we value and what brings us the most happiness. And once we found them, we just invest our money in them, no matter what other people might say. For example, if someone is extremely obsessed with cars, how they work, how they are built, the design, the interior, and so the money would be best spent buying a car because it matches the person's obsession. And it would bring a lot of happiness for the person, because every time they will drive it or work on it, this obsession will get unlocked, filling them with great energy. But on the other side, if someone buys the latest car because it's the latest car, it won't bring a lot of happiness with it in the long run. Because it will just get normal like everything else, and then we need the newest, latest thing, whatever it might be. Buy nice once instead of cheap twice. Often, when we want an item, we have 2 options. Buy the cheap version today, because we cannot wait until we can afford the version we actually want. Or wait until we can afford the version we actually want. But often we take the cheap version. And the problem with that is that we end up buying the thing twice. Either because the cheap version was also bad quality and so it broke and we needed to buy another one. Or because we didn't get the version we actually wanted, we keep thinking about it and it doesn't get out of our heads. And so at the end we buy it anyways. But then we spend more money in total and now might even have this cheap version lying around and we need to get rid of it. And to be fair, this doesn't work with everything, because some things we might need right now. But for the things that are more nice to have, I think the approach is much better to really wait until we can afford the thing we actually want. Because this way we not only save money because we don't buy stuff twice, but we also train ourselves to be patient while we wait till we can afford the one we want. As I moved into my current apartment, I wanted to get chairs, a table and other deco and plants for the balcony. But I could not buy them right at the move. And sure, I could have just bought a cheap thing I didn't really like, but instead I waited. And a few months later, I now have the things I wanted, I'm happy, and I don't think about any other version I want in the future. Plus, I don't now have cheap things lying around because I don't use it anymore. So buy nice instead of cheap twice. Invest in your skills. Skills can either make or break our future. Our skills are the one thing that cannot be taken from us. Also with them, we can always earn more money if we want to. But the problem is that we often don't like spending money on education because it doesn't give us an immediate return. If we buy a book, training or online course, we need to invest also time. Then we say, yeah, but I could also figure it out myself or use free resources available. And whilst this is true, the question is it the most effective one? Because if we consider time to be our most valuable resources, wouldn't it be smart to invest the money we earn to save a few hours, days, or even months of trial and error? And since I left school, I spent pretty loosely on education, and it has the best money I've ever spent. Sure, not everything turned out to be as valuable, and therefore we could argue I wasted some money, but overall I learned so many skills that now enable me to do what I want to do. And in the end, money is just a relative thing, as our earning potential will go up as we get older and older. And if I would start out with something, it would be with books, because they are the cheapest and the ones with the highest return on investment in the beginning. Especially books that are already quite old and therefore have been time tested by many readers. Invest in your health. We often happily spend thousands of dollars on the latest iPhone, but then we buy shitty food. Whilst this doesn't make so much difference in the short term, it really comes back as we get older. And next to that, we can also start to notice it in our day-to-day productivity. If you imagine eating sugary foods and drinking soft drinks all day, all week, you will feel pretty shitty at some point. And this starts then to take effect on all areas of our life. And if we are not really healthy, everything else starts to take a hit. And I'm reminded of that every time I lie sick in bed. And in the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Therefore, if we lose our health as we age, time loses its value. Whilst food will not prevent everything, it does carry a lot of weight when it comes to the quality of our health in the future and also our productivity for every day. A few years ago, I made an exercise that really helped me to better understand what are the things I value. If you're interested, I made a video about it here. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and remember, keep growing, keep striving, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.